In this video, we'll be showing you how to change the front brakes of the new Subaru Forester. And as usual, we'll be going through the whole thing together. We'll be showing you some tips, tricks, and things that you need to be aware of. So make sure you watch the whole thing. Grab your toolbox and a beer. You are watching BrakeX. Let's get started. So this is your brakes and your caliper. And there's two bolts at the back that's holding the caliper. And now we'll grab a wrench and a socket. And we'll quickly wrench off the two bolts that's holding on the caliper. And flathead, just try to pry the brake pads off. I'd say gently, you don't really have to be gentle. Very gently pry the pads off. And this is a dual piston caliper. You can tell by the two circles that the piston pushes on the pads. And now we'll grab a bigger socket. This one's a 19. And we'll remove the bigger bolts at the back that's holding the caliper bracket. And as you go through the whole job, you'd want to ensure the caliper's not tangling, so the brake hose is completely rested. And before you remove the big bolt, just hold the caliper bracket or it's going to fall on the floor. Once the bracket's off, we can take the rotors out. And if it's stuck to the hub, we can grab a hammer and give it a swing. But this one is all good to go. And now we're looking at the caliper bracket that we just took off the car. And we'll grab a flathead. We'll pry the old clips off. And our brake pads do comes with new clips. But if you do want to reuse the old clips, just be gentle over here and take it slowly. Now once we get the clips off, we'll be looking at the bare caliper bracket. We'll be looking at the areas where the new clips are going to be sitting on. So what we're going to do, we're going to throw these away and we'll get a wire brush and we'll clean it up. Now, just before we put everything back together, we'll briefly check out the slide pins and see how lubricated they are, and just to check the rubber boots if there's any cracks. So now this is looking pretty fine. So just in case if you want to re-grease everything, you'll want to use silicone-based lubricants instead of regular copper-based brake grease. So that's just something to keep in mind. And we'll check the other side as well. These are looking pretty good. All good to go. And in this video, we'll be using the BrakeX Alpha brake pads alongside the Aegis GeoMed fully coated rotors. So now we'll be using the actual BrakeX supplied copper-based greases on the caliper. So if you're liking the video so far, or at least found us useful, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and check us out at brake-x.com. Now we'll be greasing the caliper where the new clips are supposed to be sitting on the caliper. And we'll just wipe it down a little bit, just to make sure the grease is everywhere we need it to be. And it's pretty important to make sure we don't over grease it. So that's actually one of the leading causes of squeaking new brakes. So just like this, just enough. And nothing crazy. And just before we put the rotors back on, we'll want to be greasing up the hub a little bit, just to make sure our rotor's not going to be sticking onto the hub too hard next time when we're replacing our brakes. And now it's time for the new rotors. And just because there's no retainer screws on the rotor, we'll just put a lug on just to ensure the rotor's not going to fall off when we're reassembling everything. So the caliper bracket goes back on, and then there's the two bigger bolts which we removed earlier. We're going to put that back on to hold the caliper bracket in place. And the same 19 millimeter. And we'll ensure the brackets tighten back up. Now we can just slip the new brake pads on very easily. And the same thing for the inside. Now we'll use a caliper piston tool just to spin the piston back into the caliper. And I always say this is not the most intuitive tool to use in the world, but it gets the job done. And yeah, whoever designed this thing deserves an award. Sarcastically. And now we'll be putting the caliper back on. So just very gently wiggle the caliper back in. And we'll reinstall the two smaller screws, which we took off earlier. Now just grab a wrench and make sure it's tight. You will not want your calipers to be wiggling. And we are good to go. So we really hope you've liked the video or at least learned something from it. And once again, Thank you for watching BrakeX. We'll see you again next time.